Hello, and welcome to EnglishStoryHub. Today, I want to tell you a true story. It is the story of Jake, a young man from Brazil, 26 years old. Only 5 months ago, Jake could not speak even one full sentence in English. Not even something simple like "How are you?" Without pausing, without struggling. He felt completely lost. But in just 5 months, his life changed. No expensive classes, no study abroad, no magic trick. Just daily practice, clear methods, and strong discipline. Why is this story important for you? Because Jake's journey is not only his own. If you have ever felt frustrated means upset or disappointed when things don't work the way you want, then you will recognize yourself in his steps. By listening to this story, you will learn exactly how he improved, and you will see that the same path is possible for you too. Let's go back to the beginning. Jake's story did not start with success or motivation. It started with failure. A failure so painful that it changed the direction of his life. Jake had always dreamed of working for an international company. He studied computer science, he loved coding, and he was very good at it. After years of effort, he finally received an email from a big tech company in the United States. The recruiter wrote, "Congratulations, you are selected for an interview." Jake was excited, almost shaking. He imagined his new life, a good salary, and the chance to work with the best engineers. But then came the interview. It was online, on Zoom. 3 interviewers appeared, all native English speakers. They began speaking, and Jake felt lost immediately. It was like the sound was too fast, like someone pressed fast forward. He could not understand their questions. The first one was simple. "Can you tell us about yourself and your experience in software development?" Jake knew the answer in his mind. He had so much to say, but the words would not come out. He only managed to say, "Yes, I am software. I do coding, many projects, good, very good." The room went silent. The silence cut him like a knife. The interviewers smiled politely and moved on, but Jake could not answer the next questions either. Finally, the call ended with a short sentence. "Thank you for your time." In that moment, Jake understood something painful. He had failed not because he lacked skills in programming, but because he lacked English. He realized English was more than a language. It was a key. Without this key, the door to his dream job remained locked. That night, he felt ashamed and angry with himself. For years, he told himself, "I don't need English. I just need to be good at my job." But the truth was now clear. Without English, his talent was invisible. After the painful failure, Jake made a decision. He told himself, "I will learn English, and I will learn it fast." But instead of paying for expensive classes, he tried something new. He asked, "What do I really need to say every single day?" So he created what he called a survival sentence list. Survival means the most basic things you need to stay alive or to manage daily life. Jake wrote down 50 simple sentences he needed in real life. Sentences like, "Hi, how are you?" Or "Can you repeat that?" Or "I need a coffee, please." Every morning, he read these 50 sentences out loud, not once, not twice, but 10 times. At first his tongue felt slow, heavy, almost stuck. But after only 5 days, something amazing happened. These sentences became automatic, like muscle memory. Jake also started speaking to himself in English. This may sound strange, but it worked. When he was in the shower, he said, "I am taking a shower, the water is hot, I feel relaxed." When he made breakfast, he said, "I am cooking eggs, I like eggs, they are easy to make." At first he felt silly. Silly means a little stupid or funny. But then he realized this was his private classroom. No one could hear him, no one could judge him. Finally, every day, he practiced 5 sentences from movies or real conversations. But he did not just read them. He copied the sound, the speed, the feeling. For example, if a character said, "I don't understand what you mean," he repeated with the same rhythm, the same emotion. By the end of the first 15 days, Jake noticed a change. He no longer translated in his head. He could say simple sentences directly, with confidence. For the first time, English started to feel natural. After 15 days, Jake felt stronger. He could say basic sentences without translating in his head. But he knew this was just the beginning. He wanted more than small talk. He wanted real conversations. He wanted to understand native speakers without feeling lost. So, he created a new plan. He called it the question-answer method. Simple, but very powerful. Here is how it worked. Step 1. Ask yourself a question in English. Step 2. Answer quickly, without thinking too much. Step 3. Repeat with different answers. For example, Jake asked himself, "What did you do today?" At first, his answer was short, "I worked." But then he added details. "I worked on my project." Then even more, "I worked on my project for 3 hours. Then I took a break and had coffee." Each time, the answer grew longer. This trained his brain to think in English and to speak faster. He also used what he called the echo technique. Echo means to repeat a sound after you hear it. Jake listened to a short clip from a movie or podcast. Then he paused and copied the sentence exactly. Same speed, same tone, same emotion. For example, "It was a beautiful day, so I decided to go for a walk." At first, difficult. But after repeating 10 times, his voice sounded more natural, closer to the native speaker. Another tool was the story method. Instead of memorizing long lists of words, he chose 5 new words each day. Then he made a short story with those words. For example, the words were excited, invitation, party, arrive, surprise. His story was, "I was excited because I received an invitation to a party. When I arrived, I got a big surprise. It was my birthday party." By reading this story out loud many times, the new words became part of his memory. These daily practices built a new habit. Jake was no longer just studying English. He was living it. English was not a subject in a book. It was a daily experience. As Jake continued, he discovered another problem. Many learners, including him, still thought in their native language first, and then translated into English. This made speaking slow and unnatural. So he trained his brain to think directly in English. How did he do it? 3 simple steps. First, he described everything around him in English. For example, when walking outside, he said to himself, "The sky is blue. The weather is hot. I see people walking. That man is wearing a red shirt." These short descriptions kept his brain active in English. Second, he asked himself questions, then answered in English. For example, "What am I doing right now?" Answer, "I am sitting in a chair, drinking coffee, and writing in my notebook." Small details like this helped his brain stay in English. Third, he wrote a short journal every night. At first, his sentences were simple. "Today, I went to work. I was tired. I ate pizza. It was good." But after 1 month, his writing became longer, richer, and more natural. Along with this, Jake made one powerful rule for himself. Every day, he had to speak English for at least 2 hours. No excuses. If he had no partner, he spoke to himself. If he was cooking, cleaning, or walking, he spoke out loud in English. If he felt lazy, he reminded himself, "English is my future. I cannot quit." This daily habit was not easy. Sometimes he was tired. Sometimes he had no motivation. Motivation means the energy or reason to keep going. But discipline, doing it even when you don't feel like it, was the secret. Slowly, the 2-hour rule transformed his English. It was no longer practice. It was daily life. After months of practice, Jake felt a change inside himself. His words came faster. His sentences grew longer. He no longer stopped to translate in his head. English was starting to flow, like water in a river. One day, while speaking to himself in the mirror, he realized something magical. He was not hesitating anymore. Hesitate means to pause because you feel unsure. Instead, the words came out smoothly, with rhythm and confidence. To test himself, Jake joined an online group where people from different countries practiced English together. At first, he was nervous. Nervous means worried or a little afraid. But as he listened, he understood almost everything. When his turn came, he spoke clearly. People listened, nodded, and even asked him questions. For the first time, he felt equal. Then came the biggest test of all. Jake applied again for his dream job, the same company that had rejected him months before. This time, he entered the interview with confidence. He answered every question calmly. He was not just speaking English, he was owning it. The interviewers were impressed. A few days later, he received the call. "Congratulations, Jake, you got the job." His starting salary was $5,000 a month, more than he had ever imagined. He was shaking, his eyes full of tears. The first thing he did was call his parents. His mother cried with joy. His father, usually quiet, said softly, "We always knew you could." With his first salary, Jake bought a watch for his father, something his father had always wanted but never bought. For his mother, he bought a gold necklace. At first they refused, but Jake said, "This is my way of saying thank you. Thank you for believing in me." At that moment, he understood. Every late night, every mistake, every moment of frustration, it was all worth it. Worth it means valuable, because the result was greater than the pain. Jake had not only learned English, he had changed his life. So, what can we learn from Jake's 5-month journey? Here are the key lessons. 1. Mindset is everything. Mindset means the way you think. If you believe English is impossible, it will feel impossible. But if you believe you can improve, your actions will follow. 2. Build daily habits. Jake spoke for 2 hours every day. Not sometimes, not only when he felt good, but every single day. Consistency, doing something again and again, is stronger than talent. 3. Think in English. Don't translate in your head. Describe your surroundings. Ask yourself questions. Write a journal. The more your brain lives in English, the faster you will improve. 4. Practice speaking without fear. Mistakes are not enemies. They are teachers. Native speakers do not laugh at you. They respect your effort. 5. Use active listening and shadowing. Listen, pause, repeat with the same rhythm. This builds natural pronunciation and real confidence. 6. Learn words in context. Context means the situation where the word is used. Stories are stronger than lists. When you connect new words to a story, they stay in your memory longer. 7. Remember your why. Jake wanted a better life, a dream job, and to thank his parents. Your why will give you energy when motivation feels weak. And now, a small test for you. Take 1 minute and write down in English. What is one lesson from Jake's story that you will use in your own journey? Keep it short. 1 or 2 sentences is enough. For example, I will practice shadowing every morning. Or, I will think in English while I walk to school. This little exercise will help you remember, because writing makes learning stronger. So if Jake could change his life in 5 months, step by step, you can too. Your future self will thank you for starting today. Thank you for listening to English Story Hub. If this story inspired you, subscribe, share it with a friend, and write your mini test answer in the comments. Let's grow together.